I'm taking the strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 127 of the SZN podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And before we crack off this episode, guys, please head over to SZN Pod or SZN Podcast, which is our Instagram and Twitter handles. There's a link in the bio of both of those platforms there, which take you to where we're situated at streaming-wise, whether that's, if you want visuals, YouTube channel's up and running, or if you like audio, the usual spots, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. We're all there. But yeah, Flowz, you know what we're here to talk about. Straight into it, Flowz. Let's not waste time. Yarde, Beterbiev, the review.
Yeah.
We have been treated to an early candidate again for Fight of the Year. I think it's safe to say, Flowz. Yeah, man. In fact, how I'll kick this off, Flowz, I just want to take a moment to applaud and congratulate Anthony Yarde. Because even though it was a losing effort, he won our hearts. Nah, I'm playing. But yeah, it was a losing effort for Anthony Yarde, but the stock is all the way up for Anthony Yarde. Despite him losing to Beterbiev, which we said on this pod would happen. We predicted it was going to happen. But I think there's so much we can talk about with this one, Flowz, because of the performance, how good the fight was from both men. Not just hats off to Anthony Yarde, hats off to Beterbiev as well, because they both treated us to an insane war. I think we both thought it was going to be a good fight, and we said it's obviously not going to go the distance based on the two being crazy power punches who stopped pretty much all their opponents. So that was that. But I don't think, for me anyways, it definitely surpassed my expectations, Flowz, in terms of how good the fight was and how exciting it was. And Anthony Yarde himself surpassed my expectations. Bro, he's boxed at a level which we've never ever seen it operate before. I think we're both very critical of him, not because of just him as a fighter, just his preparation for this fight in terms of the level gaps that he's undertaken and the fact that he's fought once and against a guy that's nowhere to be seen, and to jump into a Beterbiev fight off the back of that is kind of ill-advised. But I think to some degree, Flowz, he proved us wrong as well. Don't you agree in that sense, based on how he performed last night, despite not getting the win?
I wouldn't even say it's a case of proving us wrong, because we got the result right, if that makes sense. Yeah. What it shows is what we were saying, really and truly. We don't have the yardstick, excuse the pun, to judge him off. Like, we can't judge him off the performance against all these other opponents who aren't at the level of Beterbiev. We needed to see the step-ups so we can accurately gauge how good he is, whether he's at the level or not. We don't know if he's at the level. That was the point. And based on the opponents he's faced, he's not prepared to face the Beterbiev.
Yeah.
So what we saw was something that we've never seen from Yarde before, because we haven't had the opportunity to see it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, he jumped in there with a monster, and all we've been seeing you is fighting like kittens.
Yeah.
So we don't know how good. Like I always say, with undefeated boxers especially, you never know how good they are until they show it to you.
Until we see them. Yeah.
Yeah, until you show it to us, like how good you can be. And quite frankly, we've obviously seen him lose a few times, but at the same time, it's never been, okay, now this is the next level. This is the next level. This is the next level. You went from fighting a legit soup can. I'm not talking about Lyndon Arthur. I'm talking about a legit, like the last fight.
And the other guy, yeah.
Legit soup can to
arguably the best in the division. Yeah.
So what we saw was obviously a surprise to all of us, because we didn't know what to expect. We're thinking, are you sure you could do this?
Yeah.
But he showed he could hang to a degree. He showed it, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant to watch.
I'm saying he can hang. Not even to a degree, because again, no shame in losing to Beterbiev, who is, like I said, if we read off the stat sheet with Beterbiev, 300 amateur fights, 295 wins. I think he beat Usyk in the amateurs and lost to Usyk twice, but to beat Usyk in amateurs is already crazy. World Championship amateur gold medals, 18 fights at the time, 18 KOs. Like, this guy is a monster.
And that's part of it as well, because we know what Beterbiev can do.
Yeah.
We legit know what he can do. We know what level he's at.
Yeah.
We know everything we're seeing isn't new to us.
Yeah.
It's Yarde who's going to have to show us something.
Yeah.
And that's what made it interesting as well, to be fair.
Yeah, man. Beterbiev is the real beast from the East. Not no offense to Yard. I know that's his nickname, Beast from the East. It's really my man's name, really. Beast. He's the real beast from the East. Because, yeah, the task that was presented in front of Yard, everyone knew was pretty much immeasurable to topple such a guy who's been long reigning kingpin of the division and blasted everyone out there. Literally blasted everyone out there. But Yard's performance to me was brilliant, Flowz. I mean, from the off, you could see what the game plan was. Beterbiev liked to move towards his right. Every time he looked to come in, Yarde had that left hook ready, that lead left hook, that lead left hand, ready to check him every time he came in. And from the first 2 rounds, Flowz, it was landed. I think after round 1, Beterbiev had a mark under his eye. From the fact that he kept eating that left hook. Like, Yarde clocked it. Like, the great game plan from Tunde and the team. So they've obviously done their studies, done their film on Beterbiev, seen that he likes to move to the right when he comes in. And every time that quick check left hook was buzzing him and catching him. So, yeah, man, bro, from the off, the pace was furious from this fight. Crazy, crazy pace from both men coming forward. We knew that it was going to be bombs away at some point, but I don't know if I expected it to be so soon. But then again, you know, Yarde's got to go for it from the off, because this is the guy that's going to keep coming forward and keep hitting you with those crunching jabs. Bro, even this guy's jab is nasty. As in, it's like, you know, where you like, sometimes you don't clock that someone's heavy-handed, but you can see Beterbiev. Forget the 18. If I didn't even know that it was 18 and 18 Flowz, if I'm watching Beterbiev for the first time, I'm seeing these punches and thinking, oof, they look heavy. They sound heavy. They must be heavy. Like, bro could bang. Bro could really, really bang, man. It's crazy.
His jab is like a drill, man. Honestly, it's like a drill. Like, watching it, he drills it for real. And you can see it popping heads back, breaking guards. It's scary.
Making their face just like, oh, every time. Oh.
It's not your typical jab. It's not like sometimes you say piston like jab. This to me, this is like a drill where it's going through you. It's scary jab.
Yeah, man. Opening from the off, like I said, from the first bell, it was exciting. Both guys going for it. Yarde had the better off in the first round. Beterbiev might have got the better off in the second round. Was close. Both guys were landing big shots. But I'm liking what Yarde is doing in there. But with Beterbiev, I think you can see Yarde had the clear edge in speed. I think hand speed, I'll probably say Yarde had the clear edge and seemed to be beating Beterbiev to the punch. But then when Beterbiev got on his jab, that jab obviously started to set things up for Beterbiev nicely. And I think for the first part of the fight, Beterbiev was the one moving forward and Yarde was the one on the back foot, trying to catch and counter. But you knew every time that Yarde was up against the ropes, that's when it was like, alarm bells, trouble. And Beterbiev being a good stalker in that sense, he was able to trap Yarde against the ropes, I think, in one of the rounds. And I'm just like, And it was, I think it was that third round, Flowz, when he finally got to Yarde, like badly. It might have been the third or fourth when he finally caught him. You're on mute, by the way, bro.
Technology. So I think by the end of the second, he clocked onto the left hook, and the third he nullified the left hook pretty much. Yeah. I think it was the end of the third or maybe the fourth. The end of the third where he might, with the last shot, he hurt Yarde.
Big shot. But Yarde was like, the last shot, his face. Yeah,
his eyes lit up and then the bell and he's like,
man said, rah.
Like, he said, yikes, for real. Eyes lit up. And then I think, the fourth round is where it got sticky.
That fourth round was when Beterbiev started to apply real pressure. And where I said that, I think I missed our group chat. I said, bro, Beterbiev, Yarde had success with the left hook, but he's clocked it now. And I'm worried now because you can see Yarde's tired. From the fourth, he was tired. Knackered from the fourth round.
from the third round, his gum shields came out in the third round.
Yep.
And I was like, oh.
That's always a sign, innit?
I was like, is he breathing heavily? Is his mouth wide open? From a shot from. And I was like, I was trying to have a closer look to see why it came out. It was the end of the middle of the third, around the third. So I was like, is he tired already? But yeah, by the fourth.
Fourth to me, he looked shattered. You know when the boxer's mouth is like haggard open, like drop lip, yeah. That's what to me Toll was telling me, that he's knackered in there, and at this point he's just fighting off fumes and just heart and desire, really, which is commendable. And it's weird because the exchanges were back and forth. These rounds were super competitive at times, but there was times when Yarde would actually like get the ascendancy and catch Beterbiev with a big shot. And you know how Floyd always used to say, obviously said it in his famous gloves are off, no, face off with Ortiz about, you know, you make a mistake, you have to pay. And this was apparent a couple times in this fight, Flowz, where Yarde would get greedy. You know how we always go back and forth. You know how when you talk about boss fights and games and stuff, and you're not meant to get greedy. This was real life boss fight. And I said it in the group that Yarde will catch Beterbiev and hurt Beterbiev and have Beterbiev going backwards. And Yarde will then go for the big haymaker punch. Miss. Beterbiev just spin him around into the corner and start banging him. And then suddenly he's in the ascendancy. And just in the blink of an eye, you've had your man hurt, and suddenly this guy who's obviously so experienced, that's what experience is, Flowz, by the way, because obviously Beterbiev obviously has been there, done that, so he knows. And then he's able to turn the tide so quickly off one punch. And now, you know, next thing you know, Yarde is there struggling to survive the round, and the bell goes, he's just about survived. That happened about 2 or 3 times in this fight, Flowz, where Yarde unfortunately get greedy.
And it's partly because Beterbiev is very economical. I think he plays around.
Doesn't waste punches, does he?
Yeah, doesn't waste punches, and he knows how to. How I put it, the fourth round, I want to credit Yarde because I was legit saying this fight's over because it was early in the fourth round
when the storm came.
Like piecing up, Yarde was wobbling.
Yeah, it was bro. I remember vividly because I rewatched it just now.
I was like, it's over.
That fourth round. The first punch, Beterbiev came with a big overhand right. Boom, it's clocked Yarde. I said, yo, long.
I was watching with my wife. I said, Sally, it's over. It's over. It's a wrap. I was like, it's a wrap. I thought it's over. And then Yarde started fighting back. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. Gassed. Fall back. And yeah, like you said, even landed some shots at that point. And I was like, how do you survive that round? And back to what Beterbiev was doing, he was clocking, okay, I didn't get him out of it there early in the rounds because he launched the onslaught early in the fourth.
Yep.
So Yarde will come out fast the next few rounds, like you say, try and get control, get a bit greedy at points. Yep. But Beterbiev, economical, doesn't waste punches. He'll wait till the last minute, last 30 seconds, and boom, he get onto Yarde. Because after Yarde's expended the energy for the rounds, he gets to where he's at the most tired.
Yeah,
and just starts drilling him, boom. Yarde gets his breath, whatever, comes out next round, boom, 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 does his thing, fights his heart out, and then Beterbiev will get onto him right at the end of the round, start sticking it on him.
Yeah.
It's smart boxing. And it's a good way to steal the rounds, but a good way to sap energy from the fighter, getting them when they're most tired. Absolutely.
Bro, there was moments in that fight where I was speechless, I can't lie, just in terms of just how 1 minute, one guy's in the tendency, then Yarde suddenly shows a miraculous comeback and is now on top. And then at the end, you got Beterbiev then who's turned it round. And bro, remember what I said?
That fifth round was crazy.
Bro, fifth round was insane. That was a classic, a modern day classic round between a light heavyweight classic anyways.
And the seventh as well, I think.
It was 2 key rounds in that way. I was just like, oh my gosh, what am I watching here? This is, as I said, bro, the pace was torrid. Remember why I messaged you and said, brother, has there been any clinches in this fight? I can't recall any clinches. You said there's been one that you think there has been. I said
there was one in the fourth, and it was briefly. It wasn't even. You might not even be able to call it a clinch. It was just Yarde where he was getting pieced up a bit, and he just
tied him up quickly. Yeah, bro, this was a throwback fight. Haymakers, swings, no clinching really. Just who's going to take my best shot? It was such a throwback. Straight scrapping, bro. Straight scrapping. Beautiful stuff, man. And just so exciting for me. And like I said, there was times where I was just, my jaw dropped. I was like, wow. I'm trying my best not to shout. Right, I'm just like, this is incredible.
I stood up, beating my chest. Let's go. I was gassed.
Yeah, 6th round. I think that's the round Beterbiev took off. There was one round where the commentators didn't knock clock it, but we did. Beterbiev clearly took the round off because of just to kind of get energy back after obviously spending a lot of energy. So obviously you can give those rounds to Yarde because Beterbiev did. But I think from the 7th again, he's come back on smoke. And the gum shield thing happened twice actually. I can't remember. It happened again in the
5th round as well.
5th, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Happened twice.
Was it right at the start of the round?
I think it was right at the start.
Because after he took a beating in the 4th, he came out in the 5th, and then which I thought was, I don't think it was intentional to be honest, but if it was, smart move.
I don't think it was intentional, but yeah.
He tried to say, it's loose. It's loose.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, smart regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. Bro. Again, I'm just amazed at how Yarde's performing because, like I said, he's matching Beterbiev shot for shot. Boxing ability for boxing ability. Boxing, even though both of these guys are getting hit a lot and their faces are visibly marked, there was good boxing there as well. Good jab work from both of them. Yarde, his counter ability, he's able to slip punches was evident on show, which was great. Beterbiev and his stalking of the ring and cutting off the ring was excellent. There was good boxing in there, don't get me wrong. But obviously you overshadow that with just the bombs that are being thrown by both guys who are seen as just heavy-handed guys, not so much boxers. I think I've made a point to say that Beterbiev's got a very underrated boxing ability because people just see the knockouts, but he's more than just that if he needs to be. Yeah, man. Again, Yarde is fighting on fumes, and I'll probably say, obviously, towards. It's so funny, Flowz, because the 7th round was another classic, back and forth round between both of them. Yarde was able to survive it, but he also hurt Beterbiev in portions in that round as well. And we've said it before in it that we've seen Beterbiev go down, we've seen him hurt. Like I said, Kyle Johnson had him gone before he recovered and took him out. But so it's like he can be hurt, but I can see that for me. You can clearly see that for me. I think Beterbiev was just the heavier handed of a guy. His punches to me just looked a little more disgusting compared to Yarde's, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yarde was being shaken up more by the shots. You can visibly, you can see his head moving or him getting bobbled.
Yeah.
Whereas Beterbiev will just reset when he gets caught.
Yeah.
You kind of just like reset and have to reposition, which he's very good at. He's very good at finding position or getting into position.
Very. Yeah.
But yeah, and there was one big shot where I thought Yarde could get him out of it, but then
when you caught him with the big right,
I think
it was like a leaping right, and Beterbiev did take a couple steps back.
Yeah,
but I swear that Beterbiev then caught him afterwards. Yeah.
I'll admit I was watching with biased eyes when I was watching this. I really wanted Yarde to get him out of there, but
to be honest. Like I said, all rounds were competitive for the most part, apart from the round where Beterbiev took off, and there was one round I think Beterbiev where they actually did like bash him for most of the round. But it ended in the 8th round, which we'll get to. But I actually had Yarde for me when I rewatched it and actually scored it because I didn't score it the first time. I couldn't. No way I could score it that time. I had Yarde ahead the time of the stoppage. Yeah.
How many rounds ahead?
I had him 2 points ahead. I had him 2 points ahead, but I had him 2 points ahead. It's interesting because every time on the stoppage, I think 2 of the judges had Yarde ahead, or the other judge had Beterbiev ahead at the time of the stoppage. But yeah, man, the stoppage was. Let's talk about the stoppage. Obviously, it happened in the 8th round. Beterbiev has landed a big overhand right. That it didn't actually look well. It's caught Yarde like on the back of the head kind of thing, Flowz, and already straight away balance gone. You see he's hurt, and no. Before the bigger, no, he caught
it was a straight right hand.
It was a straight. So, no,
another drilling shot.
Was it a left or the right? I think I know it was a straight. He actually caught
right. It was a straight right.
It was a straight right that actually hurt Yarde and had him going backwards, and then he threw the overhand. Caught him in the back and then caught him in the back of the head, and that's what's finally dropped him. And you can see his legs kind of wobbled and whatnot, and he's fallen to one knee. And I've just thought to myself, damn, Damn. Because I've said that because obviously having watched Beterbiev, I know how much of a devastating finisher my man is. I think we all know. A disgusting finisher when he smells blood. So when Yarde beat the count, and he kind of, he took a couple of breaths and he beat the count, but you could see it was a lot of effort for him to beat the count. And then he's kind of gone back to the corner and slumped against the corner a little bit, looked at Tunde. I think he's asked Tunde, what round is it? And then, then obviously the referee obviously comes to the ref, puts his hands up, and then they waved him on. Beterbiev has now come in and then thrown about 4 more shots. One was a jab. The other one was a big overhand that kind of caught, but kind of glanced as well, but it was a big shot. And then he threw 2 more as Yarde sort of raised his hands. And then, you see the referee step in, and I'm there thinking, right, is it over? And then obviously we see Tunde in the apron, and Tunde's asked it for it to be stopped. And for me, Flowz, because I think obviously it's worth talking about the stoppage itself and whether it was the right thing to do by Tunde. I said to you straight away, bro, well done, Tunde. He did the absolute right decision for me. I say that because, as I said, we know Beterbiev is a disgusting finisher. And there was about a minute left in the round, and Yarde was clearly hurt. I thought, for me, he looked like he was sort of on his last legs-ish. And yes, he could have continued, but I would have thought, to what end? I think if this does continue, Beterbiev is probably going to land a couple more unanswered shots, and the referee will either stop it or Yarde goes down again. He's gonna get finished this round. He's got nothing left to prove. He's done us all proud. He's tried. This is an incredible effort against a guy that many people thought he wouldn't even have a chance against. Save him for another day. Protect the fighter, do your job, save him for another day. So I was happy with the decision to stop it, if you ask me. Some people weren't, but I think the most consensus from boxing people was that it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, I think Tunde has got a lot of praise for the stoppage, and deservedly so. My initial reaction was, for a split second, I'll explain my initial reaction. I was like, nah. And I'll explain why. Yeah. It was a split second because it was the right decision. I knew it was the right decision to stop it. The reason why I maybe would have wanted to see Yarde a more definitive finish, maybe, or Yarde to have a last chance, is because he's given such a valiant performance. Like, he was meant to have been out in the 4th. He survived the 4th. He's fought back in the 4th when we all thought it was over. Yeah, he survived. He's shown the heart of a warrior. I wanted him to have. I felt like, when he got dropped, he got up, and then Beterbiev caught him with a shot, and he kind of backed away and put his guard up. Yeah, and I was like, this is going to be your last stand here. Throw caution to the wind right now. Yeah, this is the time you empty the tank now. But I wanted him to just think, buddy, I'm going out swinging. Like, all I need to do is boxing. One shot can change it all. And we've seen it happen in the past. We've seen fighters hurt and catch someone with one shot. So I was like, all right, this is it. You have to just start swinging. As soon as he comes in, start swinging is what I wanted to see. Yeah. And hopefully Yarde catches him and boom, it's over. You know, that kind of thing. I wanted Yarde to be like, here's my last stance. My last stand, dig my heels in, bite down on the gum shield. Gum shield. Yeah. Swing, throw caution to the wing, buddy. Either one of us is gonna die. Like, kind of thing. It's him or me, kind of thing. I wanted him to have, like, okay, this is your last shot. It's over if you don't get him now. Yeah. I'm wanting Yarde to win. You feel me? I hate you, bro. But at the same time, we know who Beterbiev is. Tunde knows he's fighting better than anyone. We don't know what he said in the corner. Yeah. He might have been completely out of it. He might have said, where am I? You actually don't know. So it was a great stoppage. He protected his fighter. Like you say, he has nothing more to prove. We know what Beterbiev's going to do. But at the same time, this is boxing, and no boxing fan would be being honest if they say they don't want to see a KO. And I wanted Yarde to KO Beterbiev there and then. That's what I wanted. I wanted to but yeah, we've got to be realistic. We've got to be
bro. You know what it is for me, Flowz? Yeah. It's easy to look at it from obviously the fans' lens and blah blah. Yeah. But I'm seeing it as, one, I've got the entertainment. It's not like this was in the first or second round. There's been 8 rounds war slugfest. So entertainment is there. I've gotten that. And I honestly feel like, obviously it's hypotheticals. We don't actually know what could happen. And yes, one fight, one punch could change the fight. Yeah. At the same time, for me, I'm there thinking, boy, I know Beterbiev. I've seen this guy in action so many times. Bro, he before it got stopped, he landed 4. He didn't. He landed about 2 of them, but he threw 4 unanswered shots. I'm there thinking, I've seen this, bro. He 100% gonna get him. Obviously, I can't prove it, but I just know. I've seen this movie so many times. Yarde would have been against the ropes, hands up, tucked away. Beterbiev just pounded him, and the referee before he would have jumped in. And in that pounding, one of those shots could really, really, really hurt my man and let's say break his eye, for example. And boom, that's him out for, bro, save, like I said, save the fight for future. So that's why I was fully at peace straight away. I said, well done, Tunde.
I was being greedy.
Bro.
I needed a Yarde win, man. I wanted it.
Bro, I throw it back to Triple G, Kell Brook, right? And I remember my first reaction straight away when Kell Brook's corner.
His eye.
So forget the eye thing.
When
I didn't even notice
corner.
When the corner pulled Kell Brook out of that, what's his name? I can't forget his name.
Brendan Ingle.
Dom Ingle.
Yeah.
Wow, real throwback. So when Dom Ingle's coming and stopped the fight, I was like, what the hell? Sack Dom Ingle. What the hell, man? Bro, that fight was gassy, was enjoying it. Blah, blah. I didn't even clock how throughout the fight, Brook was pouring out his eye, blah, 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 blah. I remember when the fight was stopped, like, Brook was like, he himself didn't like, he wanted to carry on. Bro, when I found out, it was then later revealed that Brook's eye socket was smashed smithereens, I shut up real quick. Bro, I said, you know what? Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Really and truly, this should actually have been stopped earlier before we got to that. Because Brook was pouring from early, from like round, so you bro, as you said, I say all the time, you don't play with boxing. Lives are lost. A serious injury now could then put Yarde out and he might not be the same. We don't know. Again, it's hypotheticals. He can land that lucky punch, but I'm looking at that situation, bro, that wasn't happening. Beterbiev was going to rush him, keep banging him, and your fight is taking an extra 10 seconds punishment for no reason. So I was at peace with it. I think most sensible boxing guys were at peace with it as well. I know. I understand casual fans. It's like, I need to see it. I need to, I've enjoyed it. Give him a chance. Go out in the Shield. This go out in your Shield rubbish is bullshit, man. It is bullshit, man. We need to see it all the time, man. So fair play to him because he's as you said, bro, he's gotten so much slack over the years. Yeah. You can tell, bro. Their bond is strong as hell, man. Like from day one, he knows him.
I remember when people were saying get rid of Tunde, we both said don't get rid of Tunde because you need people like that who have your best interests at heart, who support you, who want the best for you. There's a genuine relationship there, and that's what we saw. That's what we saw last night because he stepped in and he looks at Anthony and he knows Anthony better than anyone else, and he cares for Anthony. So he done the right thing, and he's quite rightly getting a lot of praise for what he done.
Facts.
Great fight,
boy. Amazing fight, man. Fight of the year candidate already. That's gonna be tough to beat. We got to talk about next up, man. Beterbiev. It's Beterbiev. Big
actually, before that, I want to get on the commentators because they kept talking. To be fair, obviously it was BT commentary. I need to watch the ESPN commentary because that was gassy from the highlights I saw. What's it called? They kept saying he was on commentary for BT. They kept saying Beterbiev is faded. He's feeding the pace.
Yeah, they did.
And they kept saying he's feeding the pace. I was like,
that's when we said that he took the round. He's not. He took the round off. Yeah, it was quite evidence to me. But yeah,
and he's just. And they kept saying, he's never been tested like this. I was like, we've seen Beterbiev had bad cuts.
They said
go down.
I'd say they said, Yarde is the first fight we've seen take the fight to Beterbiev. I said, did Callum Johnson not do the exact same thing and bum rush Beterbiev?
Marcus Brown was doing the headbutt thing.
Fam.
Marcus Brown was winning the fight until he was about to stop it, and then he turned up. So I don't know. Sometimes I need to. Yeah, I just want to get the
sometimes
they
these
talking rubbish.
They don't do their research. Clearly, they don't do the due diligence. Clearly, so is what it is.
Yeah, I had Yarde winning as well. So maybe I'm biased or whatever. I had Yarde winning by a round, but great fight, whatever. A bravo
to both fighters, man. Facts.
Yeah, but Yarde can definitely bounce back. Definitely want to see him out. Stock has risen
massively. He's shown that he can operate at a certain level now. More than all the UK heavyweights. Light heavies. He's shown that. Yeah. Sorry to say, Joshua Buatsi. I have to say it, bro. I have to say it. Yarde's better than you right now. Yarde beats you. Off the strength of that performance, he beats you. You're not ready. Yarde actually showed me he's kind of ready. It's just unfortunate that again, it's long because, as I've said, we've got such an amazing crop of light heavies. None of them is beating the Russians. No UK light heavy currently is going to beat these two Russians. So they have to, I don't know, go back to UDs, take a sabbatical, I don't know, do something. But fight amongst yourself. Fight among yourselves because
do a 3-year course, come back, and maybe they aged up.
No, until these two Russians get out the way, it's just no point. And yeah, it's long. You know, certain people will say that Callum Smith stops Beterbiev. Get real, man. I highly doubt it. It'd be nice to see him do it, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
Moving like Beterbiev is a bum boxer as well. 300 amateur fights, 5 losses. He beat Usyk in the amateurs. Please, he's not a bum boxer. If he has to box, he will. But yeah, the UK light heavy's got to stay away, man. I'm sorry. It's funny because Callum Smith is now mandatory for, I think, the WBO. I think they've made it mandatory now. So if that fight happens, fair enough. But boy, you should maybe wait for the. I don't know. They're too long to deal with, bro. Too long to deal with. And I think that's the fight that's on everyone's lips now, Flowz. You know, Beterbiev with Bivol. We need that, don't we? We need that this year, preferably. Yeah. Beterbiev is not getting he's not getting younger, so he's 38 now. We need that.
Yeah, everything else needs to go to the side. Bivol, Canelo, that can wait. Beterbiev,
don't even mention Canelo's name.
Look, all these other fights, put it off. Get Bivol and Beterbiev in the ring right now because this is one of the most genuine 50-50s in boxing right now.
Big facts. And I was again. I by the way, I still can't call it, Flowz. I don't know if you can. I haven't got a winner yet. Yeah. If someone put a gun to my head and said who wins, you're going Bivol.
Decide now. Yeah.
I know you. I know the type of boxing you like. So I know you're going Bivol.
Yeah. I'll have to say Bivol, but it's a genuine 50-50. If that's the case,
Flowz, it is a 50-50. When the time comes, if it's still Bivol, I'll go Beterbiev just to make it interesting. But man, it's a wonderful clash of styles because I was saying obviously that Bivol doesn't hit as hard as Yarde. I don't know if he can hurt Beterbiev, but at the same time, he's a much better boxer than Yarde, and he would definitely won't get his hit as much as Yarde did. It's a fascinating fight, man, between both of them. Yeah, I really hope that it happens this year. They both want it. I don't think they're both about it. So shout out to both of them. Hopefully they can get that on this year, and we get one name, one face. And then the UK guys, if you must, you can then start to. Whilst that's happening, like I said, I want to see Yarde versus Joshua Buatsi. I want to see Yarde against all these guys. Dan Aziz making a name for himself. Callum Smith, to be fair, he won't risk it because he's mandatory now. But it'd be nice to see Callum Smith against one of these guys as well. Domestic dust up, see who's the best in the UK first, and then they can challenge potentially an undisputed champion. You know, in a perfect world, I love that. Yeah,
these man got a bit busy. Definitely. Yarde, let's leave the soup cans. Maybe if let's leave the soup cans out of the way now. Because the light heavy division is actually quite stacked. When you look at the whole landscape, even outside of the UK scene, outside the two Russians, there's people there you can fight. Plenty of people. So there's exciting fights out there. These guys can all mix it in. It's a good division to keep your eyes on. If they all keep acting and fight each other, definitely a good division to watch.
Facts. But Flowz, there's still lions in the camp, man. Shout out to Yarde. It's a third loss, but I can't begrudge him with this one at all. All his losses have been tough losses, to be fair. I just hope that he now stays at a certain level of competition now. No more soup cans, as you said.
Bro, it shows. Lions in the camp is a real thing, man. For real. He showed with that performance. It's not a gimmick. It's for real. Really lions in the camp. They just came up against a different monster. Yeah. That's all it was.
Fam, he's a monster. He's actually a flipping monster, man. What the hell?
Bro, that's all it is. Like, if you didn't believe in lions in the camp before, but believe it now because he showed it. Won a lot of hearts with that performance for real.
Facts. Let's quickly touch upon next week, Flowz. We've got Amanda Serrano against Cruz. That's an undisputed fight for all the featherweight division belts in the women's game. So that's that fight. But there's another fighter on the card, another undisputed fight on the card that is what we're truly interested in, I think, and that's Baumgardner, right? Yeah. So she's I think, as you explained to me, obviously they stripped Cho because she obviously very inactive. So yeah, Baumgartner's fighting for the vacant last belt that she needs to collect to become undisputed against undefeated French lady. And she wins that, she becomes undisputed. So man, it's about to be, if we expect I think Baumgartner to take the W. What a last couple of years she's had, man. What a rise for her. Meteoric rise.
Yeah, huge run. Upset after upset, collecting belts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elham Mekhaled is her opponent, by the way. Just get that out there. Yeah.
I remember she signed to Matchroom the Zone, ain't she? So
yep.
Remember when she beat Terry Harper, people were laughing at Eddie Hearn, saying, you lost.
Facts.
he signed back, and we said all he's going to do is sign Baumgartner.
Eddie does that all the time, by the way. Like if he did that to Lara as well. When Lara beat Warrington, quick swiped him.
You don't lose.
Yeah, you don't lose like that. Joker.
Now
Absolute joker.
He might have another undisputed on his cards.
Facts. Big facts. Yeah, I really hope Alicia does it. I expect her to. I'll be tuning in for that. And shout out to Tony Harrison as well, man. It's good for him. Good look for him. I expect to see the buffs on afterwards. But yeah, that's it for this week. I think, Flowz. Don't think you got anything else to add. You got anything else to add? I don't really.
The main event saved that card yesterday because the undercard was atrocious. The undercard, Frank.
Bro, why do you think we didn't even touch upon it? Not even worth touching upon.
Yeah, shocking. But anyway,
we'll grill Frank another day. We'll grill him another day. This has been episode 127 of the Trap Season podcast. Once again, I've been your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And keep supporting and keep it locked. Peace.
You taking a strap? I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.